Okay, here we are, 2.3, additional earnings. So this is about bonus pay or any extra amount earned for a job. Okay, so it's paid in addition to your regular pay or your overtime pay. It may be a lump sum, which is just some large amount of money. Just a chunk, basically, a chunk of money, all given to you at one time. Or it could be a percentage. So examples are danger pay. So for example, if you had to work high up in the air, say you're building like a skyscraper, and it was dangerous, so you had to work high up. Isolation pay, for example, if you had to work in say, the Northwest Territories or the Arctic region, it was cold and isolated and you were by yourself, you would get paid for that. Or shift premium, for example, if you start in the afternoon or you start your job at night. So for example, if you're a security guard, maybe you would have a night premium. And also tips. Tips are for waiters and waitresses. You're more than welcome to read example 1 and look at the solution, but we're going to move into build your skills number 1. This is a question that involves car sales and incentive. An incentive is what an employer will offer to employees, make them work harder or, sell more cars because they're going to get a bonus. So you get 50 bucks if you sell more than 20 grand, 40 bucks if you sell between 15 and 20,000, and so on. So basically there's these 4 categories. And Jerry sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, and we just need to put them in the category and add up the bonuses. So this one's category for 30 bucks. 19,998 would be here, so that's 40 bucks. 15,675, that's also here, so another 40 bucks. 7,250, that's the lowest category, 25 bucks. And 15,229, that's right here, another 40 bucks. So you got 3 40s, that's 120, plus 30, 150, and 25 is 175. Just added those up in my head. Alright, next one. Raymond receives isolation pay for working. His regular pay is 2,245 per month. Alright, and he's offered a bonus of 12% or 275 a month. So we need to compare 275 a month or 12% of his regular pay. So 0.12 times 2,245. That is 269.40. So I would take the 275 a month. You're going to get an extra 6 bucks. Alright, Darren works as a logging machine operator. Here's his salary per hour. Usually if you get paid by the hour, it's not really a salary, it's more of a wage. And due to the dangerous nature of the job, he makes 38% more per hour than Sean, who is a forklift operator. How much do Darren and Sean each make in an 8-hour day? Alright, so Darren makes $24.80 per hour. And due to the dangerous nature of his job, he makes 38% more than Sean. Okay, so 2480 will equal 38% more. So let's make that a decimal. 38% times Sean's wage plus Sean's wage. So that's a pretty tough formula to arrive at. Remember that when you multiply for percentages, it's always a decimal times the rate, or his wage, so decimal times the rate. And then when you say 38% more, that means you're going to have to add it back to the original wage. So when you multiply this, you get 0.38 S I'm going to use for Sean, plus another S. So what you end up with is 1.38 S. 0.38 plus 1 is 1.38. Now you need to divide 1.38 to solve for S. And you arrive at 1797, which equals Sean's wage. So Sean's wage is less than Darren's because Darren has a more dangerous job. And this is a pretty tough question, and I don't think you'd get anything this hard on a test. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so now they're giving us a shift premium with a time chart. Okay, so you could read the solution, and we will try the build your skills number 4. Regular hours at the computer repair shop where Denise works are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Her boss has offered a shift premium of $1.75 per hour to anyone who will work after 5 p.m. or on Saturday. So I'll say this is a test question. This is a reasonable test question. I would highlight that key information. Last week Denise worked the following hours, so I would now stay organized and categorize this work. So Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 is all regular. So this is 8 hours regular. 9 to 5 is 8 hours. Now for Tuesday, you can see that 3 of the hours are regular, 2 till 5, remember. And then from 5 to 8, you have 3 hours that are going to be bonus, or the shift premium, which I'll call bonus pay. Now Wednesday, same story, 2 till 5, so 3 hours regular, 5 till 7, 2 hours bonus. Thursday, so we're going to go 12 to 5 and then 5 to 8, so 5 hours regular, 3 hours bonus. Saturday, and Saturday is all bonus, so 9 to 3 is 6 hours. So let's add all these up and stay organized, because you're going to want to keep the regular with the regular. So add all those up. Keep the bonus with the bonus. You want to add these up as well. So 8 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. Here we go. 11, 14, 20, 25. So 25 times the regular rate, which is right here. And add these up. 3 plus 2 plus 3 is 8 hours bonus. And the bonus pay would be the original rate plus the premium. Alright, so 25 times 15, 25 is 381.25, and 8 times 15, 25 plus $1.75, so you make a little bit more during the premium, so you get $17 an hour versus $15.25. So 8 times 17 is 136. And then basically you want to take your two dollar amounts and add them up. And your grand total, 517.25. So this is a common thing in your life. You have a job, they offer shift premium, and you calculate your own hours, and then you make sure that you're getting paid correctly from your boss. Like sometimes your boss screws up. If you can't do this type of math, then you're never going to know if you're getting paid correctly. Alright, so what is this one? Shift premium if they drive the night shift, so after 8 p.m. Okay, so anything after 8 p.m. is going to be shift premium. Here's 7 hours regular, nothing over 8 p.m. Here's 5 hours, 8 hours regular, 9 to 5. Alright, now here we gotta go, so 6 to 8, so 2 hours regular, and then 8 to 12 midnight would be 4 hours of bonus. Thursday is 8 hours regular, 12 to 8, and then Friday 3 till 8 is 5 hours regular, and then from 8 to 9 is 1 hour bonus. Alright, so do these separately. 7 plus 8, 15 plus 2, 17, 17 plus 8, 25, 25 plus 5, 30 hours regular, times 12.75 per hour regular. So that's the regular pay. Got 382.5, so 50 cents. And then the bonus. Here you have 5 hours. Here's the bonus. 5 hours times, a shift premium is $7. So on top of her normal wage, she gets an extra $7. So 5 times 12.75 plus 7 is 19.75. Like you get paid more on the premium. That's the whole point of it. So you get 98 bucks for the bonus hours. And then finally just add the $2 amounts up at the end. And 481.25. Alright. Shift premium. Okay, this shift premium looks like a percentage. So, it's isolation pay. So $12.50 for the job. So Chan is offered isolation pay of $12.50. Alternatively, or he can have a bonus payment of 28% of his salary. If his salary is $532, which is the better option if it takes 10 weeks to complete the job? Alright, so let's take a look at that number. $532 per week, and it's 10 weeks, so times that by 10, 53.20. That's his salary. So we have to calculate 28% of his salary. 0.28 times 53.20 is 1489.60. Compare that to 12.50. I'm taking the 28% all day. Okay. Okay, example 3. Look at the solution in your book. We will do questions 7, 8, 9 together. This looks like wage plus tips. These are common questions on tests and common life examples for waiters and waitresses. So base salary $8.20 per hour plus tips. Typical day she bills, those are her customers' bills, $950, and her tips average 15%. So she will get 15% of the bills. So 0.15 times 950. Her tips are $142.50. Those are her tips. Plus her wage, here's her wage, $8.20 per hour, times the 8-hour day. So $8.20 per hour times an 8-hour day, like a 9 to 5 or whatever. 8.20 times 8, 65 bucks. So you can see that her tips are more than her wage, which is interesting. So it's important that people tip at restaurants. Add those together. So So she makes $208 in a day from her wage and her tips put together. So again, very important that people tip at a restaurant so that young women and young men who have an entry-level job like a waiter or waitress can make some extra money. Alright, next one. 15% is too much to leave for a waiter who did not provide good service. So if you're not a good waiter, you don't get tipped. So he left $3 on a meal that cost $24.75. What percentage tip did he leave? So to figure out any percentage, see how it says what percent? Remember, it's always your part divided by your whole times 100. And the part is always smaller than the whole. Okay, so you have $3 divided by 24.75, and then once you get that ratio, times 100. So this is 12%. Okay, one more to go. Rosita earns $408 working 35 hours at this wage plus tips. How much did she make in tips? Well, calculate her wage, which is always hours times rate. 35 times 821, $287.35. But she made 408. So what's the missing amount? 408 was what she made. This is her wage. So if you subtract those two numbers, you're going to get the tips. So the tips will equal $121.30. Alright, start the practice, and there's your 2.3.